r/AskReddit by Teen Reddit. What's the craziest display of laziness you see some people do? I was too lazy to microwave some frozen food, so I just let it sit in my room until it was room temperature and forced myself to eat it. Just dumping trash on the ground. Is it so hard to walk 20 feet to the trash can? Also, people just leaving carts in the parking lot instead of walking a few feet to the corral. Now that's lazy. Being comfortable with their password as password. Also, leaving their clothes on the floor for other people to see, especially socks and undergarments. I keep a laser pointer by my bed so I can shine it at the light switch and have my cat turn the light on and off. Lol, please make a video. That's not lazy. That's a genius right there. I used to do that with my dog. I had a roommate who bought a cooler for next to the couch because he didn't want to walk to the kitchen to get a beer on Sundays when he was watching football. And before you say that's a great idea, the guy had to get up all the time to piss, so he really wasn't saving any time. Next step, bucket beside the cooler. Didn't see it happen, but in high school a girl got pregnant because they were too lazy to go across the room to get the condoms they had. My brother calling me from his room to the landline because he wanted me to bring him some ice cream. Ordered delivery pizza from a store that was 40 meters away. That or when I spent 10 minutes downloading and configuring a remote control app on my phone for the TV because the actual remote was on the opposite armrest. I had an aunt who would lay on the couch, then turn around and scream for everyone around. Then when someone went to see what she wanted, she would say, "Hand me that remote or hand me my cup of coffee," and it was literally less than an arm length away, on the end table right next to her. Cruising around a parking lot to catch a space near the entrance, when you could have already parked further away and be inside the store. Waiting 3 minutes to save 15 seconds lol. Not put their dishes in the dishwasher, so by the end of the day there is a pile of smelly dishware and silverware in the sink. I watched my son spend about 5 minutes trying to take his socks off with only his feet rather than pausing a game. His laziness was mesmerizing. My old flatmate literally littered in his own room and never cleaned it. It was horrible. My boss emailing me to print his documents from the communal office printer located on his desk. Took him longer to email me than it would have for him to just click print. I once watched my FWB struggle for a solid 30 seconds to flip the corner of a rug back into the right spot with his foot, rather than just bend over and use his hand. He didn't even get it. I reached down and did it. He also would refuse to do dishes until the dishwasher, sink, and counters were full of dishes. Then he would pay me or someone else to do them. It's worth mentioning that he did not work, so it's not like he didn't have free time. He was living off an inheritance. He started asking if I'd marry him and I noped out of there. He immediately got some young new girlfriend moved in, and I guess they're cool with that arrangement, so whatever. I don't have any desire to be someone's mother. One of my friends couldn't be bothered to go to the restroom, so he decided to just piss in a bottle in his house. People getting on the bus and then getting off at the next stop a block away. A while back I invited a friend of mine to my and my wife's house for a weekend of hanging out because I moved about 3 hours away from him. So while his was there one night, we were playing video games and my wife decided she was going to make us loaded bacon cheese fries. She brings them in and sets them on a small table between us. Wife gets settled, so I get up to get us some drinks. My friend didn't think I saw, but I saw. He reached out for a couple fries, dropped a huge glob of cheese and sour cream on the carpet, and instead of getting up to get a paper towel or even saying anything, he just kind of rubs it into the carpet with his shoe. We are not friends anymore, not because of that specifically, but because of years of shit like that. People flicking cigarette butts when they're standing right next to one of those public bins ashtrays on the pavement. Cutting their fingernails and just leaving them on the ground to be scattered around. My roommates microwave pretty much all their food from frozen box meals. No judgment there, but then they'll leave the entire wrapper and empty box wherever they were standing when they unwrapped it. I've seen it placed on the sink, on the counters, on top of the microwave, etc. To make matters worse, there's an empty trash can sitting right there in the kitchen. These roommates are in their 30s and never learned how to throw their shit away. I had a co-worker who dropped an entire cup of water onto the break room's wooden floors. She walked over it, refilled her cup, and then started walking out. I asked her WTF. There's a ton of water on the floor. She said it's not a big deal. It's only water. It'll dry. I once saw someone put their garbage on top of a lidded garbage can instead of just, throwing it inside like a normal human. I work retail, and you wouldn't believe how much garbage people leave on shelves. One time we found some sushi hidden on a bottom shelf that was there long enough to have mold fill its container. Literally a loaf of mold. The light switch in my room used to be in a really odd spot not close to the door or the bed. So when I wanted to shut it off I'd toss a ball at it and hope it hits. Half the time I missed and just slept with the lights on. Fortunately, they put the switch in a better spot when we moved. Thanks for watching this r/AskReddit by Teen Reddit. Like, comment, and subscribe. And tune back in soon for another video.